Thanks for joining us here on Seattle Seahawks today. Tyler Jones here with you. Thanks for stopping by. As we are breaking down the latest Seahawks first-round NFL mock draft projections, we will show you what all the experts are saying about the Seahawks pick at 16, what they think the Seahawks are going to do. We'll show you our analysis and some numbers on these players coming up in just a bit. Before we do, with the draft around the corner, we want some good vibes headed our direction for your Seattle Seahawks. If you want the Seahawks to have a great draft, like the video, don't jinx it, do your part. Don't make me come find you because you didn't like today's video and the Seahawks didn't have a great draft because you didn't like it. Don't even take a chance on it. What do you have to lose? Like the video and we'll get started with today's show. Let's begin with the folks at The Athletic as they did a mock draft with Michael Sean Duggar, their Seahawks beat writer, making the pick. And this is interesting for a couple of reasons. One, Cooper DeJean, the corner from Iowa. Some people think he's going to play safety at the next level, is the pick for Seattle. And I'll be honest, we haven't seen his name a lot when it comes to these mock drafts over the last several weeks. So this is kind of a new name of sorts for Seattle in this position here. But even taking it a step further, what the Athletic is proposing is the Seahawks trade down from 16 to get him at 20. So what do the Seahawks get besides Cooper DeJean with this pick of going down 4 spots? They pick up a third-round pick at 98 overall and a sixth-round pick at 178. So I'll say this. This is tempting as far as I'm concerned. Let's show you what Michael Sean Duggar of The Athletic had to say about this when he was asked why he was projecting the Seahawks to trade down and make this. Here's what he had to say. DeJean played cornerback at Iowa, but it's unclear where he'll play in the NFL. Teams could keep him at outside cornerback, move him to inside, to nickel, or try him at safety. With his athleticism and ball skills, there's reason to believe he could excel at any of those 3 spots. DeJean's versatility makes him an interesting fit in McDonald's defense. One of the takeaways from talking to McDonald at the NFL's annual meeting last month was his vision for a defense full of players with diverse skill sets. And that's a key thing with Cooper DeJean is he can do a multitude of things. We're expecting the Seahawks to play 3 safety sets. And so you move him around, I mean, the possibilities are endless of what he could look like in this Seahawks defense. So not only am I getting a couple picks out of this, but also picking up a good player, I'm tempted by this. The numbers from Cooper DeJean, let's show you those, what he did in 10 games last season. 2 interceptions, 5 pass breakups. The year prior to that had 5 interceptions and 8 pass breakups. And you look at his coverage stats, he was all over the place. Not only just a lockdown corner, but also making plays as well, holding quarterbacks to a QB rating of 37.8 and 5 pass breakups. The unicorn, as I call him, is very intriguing to me. I like the idea. What do you guys think? Should the Seahawks draft Cooper DeJean? It's our pinned comment today. Y for yes, N for no. Weigh in the comment section. Tell us what you think. Today's show is sponsored by Game Time. Game Time, the place to go for last-minute tickets for the lowest prices guaranteed. And here's the deal. When it comes to Game Time, maybe you want to wait till the very last minute to get your tickets. Well, you're in luck because prices drop as the event gets closer, so you can get those lowest prices guaranteed. Pick the event you want to go to, whether it's a sporting event, concert, theater production, comedy show. Maybe you want to go see the Mariners or the Kraken, whatever it may be. Game Time's got you covered. Pick out the seat you want, see if you like that seat or not. Might stumble upon a flash deal, and then bam, you're checking out just like that. Apple Pay, Google Pay, Venmo, all major credit card providers. Game Time makes it easy and simple. We're offering $20 off your first purchase when you use the promo code ChatSports. Download Game Time today. Terms and conditions do apply. The link is in the comments and description of today's video. Check out Game Time today, and you'll be glad you did. Let's go to Pro Football Focus. They, among many, are projecting the Seahawks to go with Troy Fautanu, the offensive guard from the University of Washington. And This would be a popular pick, a guy that played for Ryan Grubb and Scott Huff with the Washington Huskies, that already knows this air raid scheme, that's ready to start day one. But it's not just a feel-good story. If he had the measurables and the same numbers and played for, pick a random school, let's say the University of Miami, he would still be a very intriguing prospect. Here's what PFF had to say about Fautanu to Seattle. The Seahawks tackle situation is figured out. But after losing Damian Lewis in free agency, they have some holes to fill along the interior. Fautanu played left tackle for Washington in college, but has been projected by some as a guard, which is where he'd likely play in Seattle. This seems like the most likely pick. Not only is he projected on most mock drafts to go to Seattle, including Mel's mock draft that we told you about earlier this week here on the channel, but even the betting odds, DraftKings has him as the clear favorite to be the guy for the Seahawks. You look at the numbers last year from PFF, allowed just 2 sacks, overall grade is 75.1, had allowed 6 penalties, 18 hurries. Very good football player that hasn't even come close to reaching his ceiling yet. Let's go to the Tiffany Network, CBS Sports. They are projecting Seattle goes with Byron Murphy, the defensive tackle from the University of Texas. And I'll say this, I like Byron Murphy as a prospect, but this one was a bit surprising because most people aren't projecting Murphy to go that high as 16. Here's more from Pete Prisco. Taking an upfield type player makes sense for new coach Mike McDonald, who had Justin Madubuike in Baltimore. Byron Murphy II plays a lot like Madubuike. I think this is a reach at 16. I think that you can potentially pull off, if you want Byron Murphy, you can pull off a trade and get him later on and get some more draft capital or something out of it. You look at Byron Murphy. He looks the part, right? 5 sacks, 45 pressures, 8.5 tackles for loss. He was also very good in run defense as well. I'm intrigued when it comes to Byron Murphy, but I don't think I would take him at 16. What is the biggest need for the Seahawks in this year's draft? We've talked about a couple of them already. Corner, offensive line, defensive line. What is it? Tell us in the comment section what you think it is. We're going to be live here for the NFL Draft on draft night. You will not want to miss out on that. And our coverage is going to be incredible over the next couple of weeks. We're bringing you daily news and rumors. Anytime the Seahawks make a move of some sorts, whether it's a signing or trade, whatever it may be, we're going to bring you a video as fast as we can here on the channel. The latest happenings in your favorite team, we got you covered. Subscribe now for free. Never miss a moment. YouTube.com/Seahawks TV. Pro Football Network is projecting that the Seahawks go edge rusher with Laiatu Latu with the selection here for Seattle. And another curveball, the Seahawks make a trade to get this done with the Jacksonville Jaguars. Check this out. The PFN trade idea is the Seahawks go just one spot from 16 to 17, and they pick up a third-round pick along the way, 96th overall. So pretty cheap. Go down one spot and pick up a third-round pick in the process. Here's more from Pro Football Network on why the Seahawks make this move. Seattle grabs Latu as the rebuilding efforts on their defensive front see them add an athletic chess piece off the edge with Latu's abilities. Seattle moves back a spot, acquires an additional third-round pick, and still gets their man. Now, there's other players I like more. I like Latu, don't get me wrong, but there's other guys I like better when it comes to first-round draft targets. And so for me, you went down one spot, and you still got a good player, and you picked up a third-round pick. I like the trade more, getting that extra third-round pick, than I do the player you selected with this pick, if that makes sense. The numbers were incredible from Latu last year. 13 sacks. The year prior had 10.5 sacks, 65 pressures, 62 pressures last year. Latu's ready to play in this league, and he played in Seattle previously with the University of Washington before he was at UCLA. So watch out. We'll see if the Seahawks do that. Last one we'll go to Yahoo, as Yahoo's projecting the Seahawks go with Graham Barton, the offensive lineman from Duke. And some of you may be saying, who? Well, that's where Yahoo Sports comes in. Let's show you what they had to say, courtesy of Nate Trice and Charles McDonald. The Seahawks offense was derailed in 2023 because of injuries to their front five, and Barton gives them a high-level starting option and depth at every spot. If Barton ends up at left guard initially for the Seahawks, it could create a supremely talented left side of the line alongside Charles Cross. Now, I'd be surprised. Barton is a name that we have not talked about really at all. He's expected to be available at the end of the first round, so maybe there's a trade-down scenario with Barton. There's also talk about him playing multiple positions. Is he a tackle? Is he a guard? I know this much. He could come in right away, and he could start on this Seahawks team one way or the other, probably more likely the guard spot. You look at the numbers from PFF. Overall grade solid, 76. Sacks allowed 2, didn't allow any hits. 9 hurries, did get called for 6 penalties last season. So, who will the Seahawks select with their first-round pick? Give me a name that comes to mind that you think is going to end up with the Seahawks when it's all said and done. If you enjoyed today's show, you want the Seahawks to have a great draft, like the video. We certainly would appreciate it, and we'll see you next time right here on Seahawks.